Welcome to another episode of NACIC Bible Stories. Listen closely and lean in because this is a love story filled with surprising twists, patient waiting, and the kind of steady work that changes a life. Imagine traveling far from home and standing at a stone well under the bright desert sun. A stranger arrives. A young woman guides a flock of sheep. A heavy stone waits to be moved. What happens next will shape a family and a future. Stay with me, because by the end, you will know how patience and hard work can open doors that seem locked. Now let us begin. Jacob walked for many days across dusty roads and rolling hills. He had left his home after a hard season, and now he journeyed to the land of his uncle Laban. The air was dry, yet sweet, with the scent of grass near the village well. His sandals brushed pebbles, and his heart beat with hope and a little fear. Would his family welcome him? Would he find a place to belong? As Jacob arrived at the waterhole, he noticed shepherds waiting with flocks of sheep and goats. A massive round stone covered the well to keep the water clean. It was so heavy that shepherds usually waited until everyone gathered to roll it away together. Then Jacob saw her, Rachel. She guided her father Laban's sheep with gentle skill. The animals trusted her. Her eyes were kind and bright. Jacob watched as she approached the well, ready to water the thirsty flock. But the stone, it was still in the way. Jacob stepped forward with a brave and helpful heart. He set his hands upon the rough rock. The sun warmed his shoulders. Muscles tensed. With one strong push, he rolled the stone away, all by himself. The gathered shepherds gasped. The well burst into the light. Rachel smiled with surprise and gratitude and began to draw water. Jacob felt a rush of joy. He greeted Rachel warmly and explained that he was the son of Rebekah, who was the sister of Laban's family. He was not a stranger after all. He belonged to their clan. Rachel hurried to tell her father the news. Laban ran out to meet Jacob and wrapped him in a welcome embrace. Dust rose around them as they laughed and shared stories. Jacob told Laban everything about his journey and the reason he had come. Days turned into weeks. Jacob helped with the animals from early morning until stars dotted the sky. He was a hard worker. He checked hooves, cleared thorns, and led the flocks to green patches when the land looked dry. The animals grew strong. The household felt the blessing of God. After a month, Laban spoke with Jacob about wages. "You are my relative," he said with a thoughtful smile. "Tell me how I should pay you." Jacob listened and quietly looked toward the pastures where Rachel guided the sheep. During those weeks, Jacob had come to love Rachel for her kindness, her wisdom, and her faithful heart. He gathered his courage and answered Laban with honesty. "If I work for you for 7 years, may I marry Rachel?" Laban considered the request and agreed. Jacob was filled with hope. 7 years is a long time. Yet love can make time feel like a song that plays in the heart. Jacob woke with the dawn each day and worked with joy. When the sun burned hot, he kept going. When the wind blew cold, he did not complain. He remembered the promise, and he trusted that God saw every patient step. The 7 years passed. A wedding feast was prepared with music and dancing. Lanterns flickered. Guests laughed. Food filled the tables. Jacob felt excitement and relief. At last, the day had arrived, but morning brought a shock. Jacob discovered that he had been given Leah, the older sister, as wife instead of Rachel. Surprise turned to sadness and confusion. He hurried to Laban and asked why this had happened. Laban answered that in their country, the older daughter must marry before the younger. He offered another agreement. If Jacob would work another 7 years, he could also marry Rachel. What a moment. Jacob could have run away. He could have shouted and given up. Yet Jacob remained steady. He loved Rachel, and he was a man who kept his word and trusted God. So he chose patience once more and agreed to the new plan. A week later, he married Rachel, and then he began another 7 years of work. Jacob returned to the fields. Another 7 years feels long when our hearts yearn for the finish line. Yet Jacob turned each day into a gift he could give to God. He learned every slope and valley of the pasture. He counted the stars while guarding the flocks at night. He watched for signs of danger and led restless sheep back to safety. Rachel remained faithful and gentle. She visited the flocks often and encouraged Jacob with words that felt like cool water on a hot day. The years rolled by, and at last, Jacob had served Laban for 14 years. He loved his family, and he had worked with a faithful heart. Now he felt a longing to return to his homeland. He went to Laban and spoke plainly. "Laban, I want to go home. Please allow me to return to Canaan with my family." Laban felt the weight of that request. He had noticed that everything seemed to prosper with Jacob around. The herds had grown and the fields had been peaceful. Laban answered with urgent kindness, "Please stay if you love me. I know the Lord has blessed me because of you. Tell me your wages and I will pay you." Jacob looked over the hills and thought about the future. He did not wish to take a gift he had not earned. He replied with a wise plan. "You do not have to give me anything. I will continue to care for your flocks. Instead of wages, allow me to keep the speckled and spotted sheep and the brown lambs and the spotted and speckled goats. These will be my share. You will always be able to see which animals belong to you and which are mine." Laban agreed. From that day, Jacob worked with careful attention, and God blessed his efforts. Whenever he separated the herds, he made sure that Laban's share was clear and Jacob's share was clear. The seasons changed once more. The speckled and spotted animals multiplied. Jacob's herds grew strong and healthy. He did not cheat. He kept his promise and trusted the Lord to provide. Long nights passed under the bright spark of constellations. Jacob walked through quiet fields and prayed, "Thank you, Lord, for guiding me. Help me provide for my family. Help me to work with integrity and love." The wind whispered through the grass and the sheep rustled gently. In the distance, Rachel carried a lantern and smiled. They were building a life through patience and steady faith. Jacob could look back and count. 14 years given in love and patience, an agreement that required more careful work, and the quiet knowledge that God wastes nothing we do for him. Even the delay became a classroom. Jacob learned to trust God's timing. He learned that real love is more than a feeling. It is steady, it lifts, it serves, it waits. Children listening today may wonder if patience still matters when life moves so quickly. Think about a seed planted in the ground. You water it, you protect it, you wait. Day by day, roots stretch into the soil and a green shoot rises. You cannot pull on the leaf to make it grow faster. You wait and you care. That is what Jacob did. He planted seeds of service and trust every day, and in time, he reaped a harvest of blessing. Let us pause and imagine Jacob's thoughts during those long years. When a cold wind blew across the pasture, he wrapped his cloak tighter and kept walking. When a lamb was lost, he climbed rocky paths until he heard the soft bleat and carried the little one home. When his hands were sore, he remembered Rachel's smile and the promise he had made. He remembered the God of Abraham and Isaac who never fails, and he kept going. Patience is not simply waiting. Patience is how we behave while we wait. Jacob did not sit still and count the hours. He worked with purpose. He did ordinary tasks in extraordinary ways. He cared for each animal as if it were a treasure from God. He used his strength to help others. He honored his family even when plans changed. That is the kind of patience that grows heroes. Sometimes we think our goal is far away. Maybe you are learning an instrument and your fingers get tired. Maybe you are studying and the page looks crowded. Maybe you are saving for something important and the jar fills slowly. Jacob's story reminds us that waiting with love and working with faith brings us closer step by step. Keep your eyes on the Lord and your hands on the work He gives you. He will shape your heart while He shapes your future. As Jacob's speckled and spotted herds increased, he knew his family was being prepared for the journey home. He could provide for them. He could honor his word to Laban and still build his own household. This is the beauty of wisdom and fairness. No one needed to be cheated. Blessing grew for both households. To every scene, one truth shines. Jacob worked for the Lord because he loved him. He did not allow bitterness to take root in his heart. He chose faithfulness. The Lord who sees in secret rewarded him in the open. In time, Jacob would gather his family and begin the long road back to Canaan, with gratitude for everything God had taught him in Haran. Now bring the lesson home. When you are asked to set the table, help a friend clean a classroom, or practice your spelling words, you can choose to work as Jacob worked. Not grumbling, not giving up. You can say in your heart, I am working for the Lord. He loves me and I love him. My patience today is a seed of tomorrow's joy. Before we close, picture the well once more, the heavy stone, the thirsty sheep, the courageous young man who stepped forward to help. That first act of service set the tone for everything that followed. When opportunities arrive to help others, even in small ways, take them. Your faithful action may be the first step in a wonderful story God is writing in you. What have we learned? 1. Jacob had to have patience as he worked toward a goal, and he kept that patience for many years while serving faithfully. 2. We should be patient when working toward a goal because patience is not just waiting, it is choosing to work with a loving heart during the wait. 3. We should work for the Lord because we love him, and when we do, the Lord blesses our efforts and shapes our character. Key takeaways to hold in your heart. 1. Patience plus hard work brings long-lasting results. 2. Love makes waiting meaningful. 3. Working for God turns ordinary tasks into worship. 4. Fairness and honesty bless everyone involved. Thank you for joining this story of Jacob and Rachel. Remember that God sees your patience and your effort. Keep going, keep trusting, keep working with love. Your story is unfolding beautifully. Thanks for joining us on this episode of NACIC Bible Stories. We'll see you next time with more stories that bring the Bible to life, just for you. Till we meet again, stay safe and be blessed.